Hey, Lindsay, what's up?
Hey, Kat! Girl, I just got the best advice ever today, and you are not gonna believe where I heard it.
Here we go again. Not from another infomercial, I hope.
Girl, no, but it was from somebody famous.
Lindsay, I love you, but I swear to God, if you are doing another celebrity juice cleanse, I'm gonna come over there and cut up your credit card myself.
No, but it's funny you should mention credit cards because this guy is like an expert on those. It's Dave Ramsey. It's crazy. I know. I'm on my way. I will tell you all about it when I get there. Okay, bye.
I'm gonna need more wine for this.
Hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel, Sky's the Limit. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Heather. I am a baker who decided to go to physical therapy school, a cat enthusiast, and a woman who is on a journey to get healthy and stay happy. Because that's what this channel is about. Health and happiness with a little bit of a focus in weight loss. For those of you who are not aware, I have finished the actual coursework portion of physical therapy school. Thank God, thought it would never end. And I am now in clinicals. And when you are basically doing all of the hands-on portions of physical therapy and learning 24/7 with some long hours, it's kind of hard to keep up with that whole, healthy and still losing weight thing. It's been a struggle, we'll put it that way. I've been better about being active on the weekend because I don't have to study for tests, but in terms of healthy eating, your girl has not been doing so great, at all. But I'm getting back on track if it kills me. And I decided to take a slightly different approach this morning that I want to tell you guys about so you can do it too if it works for you. Something you guys may not know about me is that I dork out hard over finance. And I got to thinking this morning about one thing in particular, and that is Dave Ramsey's snowball method in terms of paying off debt.
For those of you wondering who in the heck is Dave Ramsey, well, he is an American finance guru that has been around for quite some time and knows his stuff pretty well. Check out his books, website, or radio show if you want to learn more. And now back to the snowball method and how the heck I'm using financial advice to lose weight.
The short version for what that is if you have a bunch of debt, excluding the interest rates for a second, if you have a bunch of debt, you are making your minimum payments for each one, but you focus extra on the smallest of the debts. Because once you pay that off, then you have more money to roll or snowball into the next one and gradually get it paid off that way. I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, well, I'm sucking kind of hard at the whole being healthy and fit thing. Why don't I just take the snowball method and apply it to my life and weight loss? Whenever you are off track and things are just kind of sucking, you have one bad day and you're like, man, I ate America today. Basically everything. When you're like, oh my gosh, I ate everything, I haven't worked out, I feel disgusting, you're a lot more likely to do the exact same thing the next day, and before you know it, that snowballs into gaining 10 pounds. And for the most part, we all know that if you want to lose weight, it's calories in, calories out. There has to be a mismatch, so you lose rather than gaining. So I was like, okay, well, instead of snowballing my way into, another 10 pounds, how about I snowball my way in the other direction, like an avalanche, but a good one, not a, murdery one. So that is what I will be doing. I am going to focus on taking one day where I focus on just that day, making good decisions. Not getting overwhelmed at how much weight I have to lose, not getting overwhelmed at not feeling like I am fit enough. Just one day of making good decisions. So, welcome with me on my day. So I started out the day this morning very simple. My biggest temptation is always breakfast food because it is sugary perfection. And I decided this morning to have my life together a little bit and to not stop by Dunkin' Donuts on the way to clinicals. And instead, I just grabbed my protein shake and I went out the door and I made sure that I was on time to clinicals to get some learning in. Now that I'm at my clinical rotation, allow me to introduce you guys to my nemesis. There is almost always some sort of sugary magical goodness that our sweet, sweet patients bring in for us, kind of as a thank you for doing a good job, and sometimes just because they're nice or they're in the area with dessert. This week, there's been a whole lot of donuts in the fridge, and it is really, really hard for me to say no. My goal is to keep reminding myself that I have already had breakfast. We're taking it one meal, one baby snowball at a time.
I even drew a little snowball on my hand as a reminder to myself that all I had to do was make good decisions one by one and that they would add up. Although I had donuts on my mind the entire morning, I was at least able to hold out until lunch when someone brought even more donuts and kolaches in, and they were the fancy ones. So I kept going back and forth with just wanting to straight up binge them or have none, or to try to make good choices in moderation.
We're going with moderation if it kills me. So one baby kolache and one donut, not the four that I want to have. It's killing me. Okay, I've never wanted to do nothing but eat a million donuts so badly in my life, but instead I'm going to Subway because that's the closest thing around here to get something healthy at.
I ordered a 6-inch instead of a 12 and made sure it was packed with veggies, and the biggest thing for me is that I did not order any of those delicious cookies to go with it.
Okay, your girl is finally done with clinicals. That felt like the longest day of all time because all I could think about the entire day was the bloody freaking donuts in the fridge and how they looked magical. They were calling my name. I literally even went in there once and was like, maybe I'll have just one more. But thankfully someone else had put them away, and so I was like, okay, I don't have enough time to like rummage for them. So, still back on track, courtesy of whatever lovely person did that. But I'm gonna head home. I am starving, so I'm gonna head home, do some therapy, and get my head on straight, hopefully, and make a hopefully healthy dinner, because frankly, all I want right now is like sugar and pastries and pizza, and it's a struggle.
Just wanted to give you guys some quick insight into what it's like living with obsessive compulsive disorder. You've heard me mention my desire for donuts multiple times throughout the day. And while I am absolutely a sugar addict through and through, this is actually my OCD kicking in, because when I find something I want to do, whether it's something I want to snack on or something I want to achieve, I cannot seem to get away from fixating on it, and it affects things on a day-to-day basis. So just FYI, that's why I've mentioned donuts 867 times. The struggle is real, and I'm super grateful for therapy to help me work through it. So yay.
But I'm sticking with the snowball method, making little choices bit by bit that will hopefully add up into a big old avalanche, but in a good way.
A little while later.
Okay, so y'all can just ignore this mountain of laundry behind me. Clearly, there are some things on my to-do list. And I have been stressed, so I have been stress picking, because sometimes spending all of your time in clinicals, even when you love the site, is just exhausting. So I came home, I was starting to feel like pretty overwhelmed because I basically had spent the entire day trying not to let my OCD get the best of me and like binge eat those dang donuts that they had. And so I was not feeling all that great about anything. And when I got home, all I wanted to do was basically eat the bejesus out of like some pizza and a brownie, like a big brownie. And instead I was like, okay, well, clearly I need my therapy appointment tonight. So I'm super glad that was today. So while I was in the middle of my therapy appointment, I basically was like, okay, let me think in terms of tiny snowball, better actions add up. So rather than me coming home frustrated and emotionally eating with what would definitely have turned into a binge, I was like, okay, I am still craving something sweet, but let's make it more in moderation. So I had a Reese's that was like the little pumpkin ones, and then a small little smattering of the candy corn, which I love. And yeah, obviously, if you're watching this and you're like, what the hell are you eating? Yes, I get it. I'm not insane. I know that is not like the perfect meal. But what I am trying here is to go for more of a, let me make smaller choices that are better than the ones I initially wanted to make. And hopefully those will snowball together to lead to some better decisions that are eventually healthier. So I had my little like snacky poo
And then I had a dinner that wasn't horrendous. Like, there was some pineapple, and then I had like an egg salad sandwich. Again, heavy on the bread, not great. But when it was going to be pizza initially, I'm calling that a baby snowball choice that was better, because sometimes all those baby snowballs add up into maintaining your weight rather than gaining. And sometimes I have to remember that that's still better than ending up gaining every day, all day, because I'm stressed. So, continuing on that, because it made me feel better to make good choices and take care of my mental health with all those little snowballs. But building on that, I was like, okay, I'm actually feeling good about myself. I'm feeling more mentally balanced because therapy is fabulous. And even though I'm so freaking tired that getting off this couch feels like an impossible task, I got on that treadmill behind me and proceeded to basically slaughter myself for the next 30 minutes with one heck of a power walk. So I want to see how these baby snowballs that added up together, how they make me feel tomorrow morning. I'll keep you guys posted. Good night. Oh, and I'm going to bed on time. Baby snowball, get your sleep.
So, just a quick recap to see if all the little snowballs added up into an avalanche. I basically compared my snowball choice with what I most likely would have chosen if I had not been focused on it, and as you can see, I obviously struggle a lot with doing things in moderation, especially where dessert is concerned. But you can see all the guesstimated calories on the side, as well as the other differences that my snowball choices made. Altogether, I basically saved myself 2,760 calories, was able to function a lot more normally the next day due to the sleep, and had way better mental health. So just for the one day of better choices, that's already a huge difference.
2,000 years later.
Well, hello again. Yes, it's me, the girl from the skit, also known as the same hot mess you've been listening to for the last few minutes, but in a wig with some crazy makeup. If you made it through the video this long, you're awesome. Stay that way. I love it. So, if you made it this long, that tells me that you would probably like to know if the snowball method, even though it is not originally designed for weight loss and being healthy, if it is actually able to be used for doing just that. And the answer is yes, at least for me. So at this point, it's been about a month and a half since I started using the snowball method, and I did not intend to keep you guys waiting that long, although it was, a few minutes via video time. But the big C hit the household, and then I got an ear infection. Your girl basically just had the plague for like a month and a half. So now that I'm in one piece of the Hot Mess Express, I can tell you, I actually really enjoyed trying the snowball method approach. The idea behind Dave Ramsey's, paying off the smallest debt at a time so you can collectively then put it towards the next biggest debt and the next biggest debt. Basically, the whole idea of little decisions add up into something that could hopefully be a really good big decision or like a good life change is ideal for me. Because especially with weight loss, if I'm just thinking about, oh my gosh, I have like another freaking 70 pounds or whatever it is to lose, that seems super overwhelming. But if I break it down and say, okay, rather than thinking of that hulking 70 pounds, because it's all in here, the donut pouch, ugh. If I don't think about that, and instead I think about, okay, what decisions can I make today that are good? And then shrink it even more like, okay, I'm faced with a decision right now. Do I pick, say, the giant vat of ice cream, or do I have a single serving size of like an itty bitty Reese's? Some of you might be like,
girl, you need to just cut out the candy.
But truthfully, I'm trying to do everything in moderation. And for me, that means I have to make a lot more decisions throughout the day to make sure I'm kind of on the right track. And for me, if I go, one snowball at a time, it's actually helped a lot to take the stress off. Because if I feel like I'm restricting myself, because your girl's got some food issues she's still working through with therapy, link below for how to do that. But if I'm trying to restrict myself, I tend to go the polar opposite direction, and I'm like, I'm gonna eat everything in sight because I feel like I can't have it, which means I have to have it. But when I'm like, okay, well, this is just a baby snowball decision. Can I make a good snowball or do I not get one? It makes it a lot easier and a lot less stressful. The idea is break it down, make it simple, and make it achievable. In life, you're gonna be faced with a lot of options that are not healthy on a daily basis. So for me, restricting just doesn't work because I'm like, I'm gonna be bombarded 24/7 to the point where that just gets overwhelming. If instead I'm like, yeah, it's okay to choose lunch, but let's just make something that's reasonably, attainably healthy, it's a lot easier.
But back to the snowballs. Small, small, small. Make it measurable, make it doable, find what works for you. The snowball method is just one option. And the most important snowball of all, make sure you subscribe down below so you can keep getting more tips and tricks that I've been using to kind of help me stay on track. At the risk of running on a tangent, I am going to just cut things off here. Oh. Cat. And in the meantime, I will see you lovely humans in the next one. Bye bye. Also, I did not realize how much boob is going on in this dress when I put it on. Either my bad or you're welcome.